God.
Videos, like follow on Instagram, on videos, and
Good job. Really, this time.
Which one first, Master?
Take your pick. I'm not too fussy. It's working. We're hurting it. This is an interesting approach.
I know I said I probably wouldn't be coming back to She-Hulk. For those of you new to the channel, I have done a pretty thorough review of episode 1 and the...
the fight is done.
That's it.
We lost.
Keep going.
I'm cautiously optimistic the Obi-Wan
I don't
Kenobi
think you
show
can
on
take
Disney
my
Plus. The streamer has delivered good Star Wars stories and bad ones. Luckily, director Deborah Chow is on the right side of that divide, and star Ewan McGregor seems confident it will deliver.
I think it'll be cool.
I don't think it will disappoint. That grin right there is giving me more hope than any of the officially released marketing material. The trailer was good, but I can't tell if the awesome music was doing a lot of the heavy lifting, you know? It's hard to make sense of the show from such a brief teaser. One thing I will say is if Disney put Jewel of the Fates in their marketing again only to hoodwink us in the final product, I will go feral. The story of Skywalker. I am not putting up with that again. This will be my Joker origin story. It's called City Inquisitors in live action, even if I'm not quite sure why this wasn't the template. And why didn't they cast Jason Isaacs? He literally said he would do it. Joel Edgerton was one of the greatest castings in the prequels. He's a phenomenal talent on screen and off, and I'm honestly more excited about the fact he might get something juicy to work with finally than anything else about the trailer. I've always liked the idea of Vader popping up in Kenobi's story, in fact, so I remain hopeful that this will be an essential chapter in the story of Obi-Wan. The one thing I really hope this Kenobi show doesn't do is reveal a fan favourite only to do nothing with them. Everyone lost their shit when Cad Bane showed up to take on Cobb Vanth, and it was one of the best directed scenes in Book of Boba, touching on the Western imagery that made Star Wars work in the first place. But then just an episode later, Bane kicked the bucket after doing next to nothing else. Bane's presence was barely felt in a 7-episode miniseries that concluded with its own showdown, and his first live-action appearance ended up being a bit of a dud. It's probably now going to be his last live-action appearance too. Disney needs to learn that if they're going to bring in legacy characters for mind-blowing reveals, then the story needs to back that up. Cad Bane, despite having a history of Boba and Django, did nothing to exemplify any important themes within the narrative. He was there entirely for show, so if Kenobi is going to cameo anybody that hasn't already been announced, I would like it to be none other than Cal Kestis, and I think there's some really compelling reasons as to why. Trust. Jedi Fallen Order drops at a time where Star Wars could have possibly pissed me off more. The Rise of Skywalker blew me away. It was so bad. A movie so bad that I would check the sequel movies for all 9 Saga films too. A movie so terribly fast-paced and full of crappy beats that it barely has time to squeeze any real emotions. Great Palpatine, Dead Ben Solo, Finn, Poe, Hux, Rose, Luke, the Emperor, all wasted. Anakin's sacrifice was made null and void. Bring balance again? Are we freaking serious with this? At least Lando was fun. Jedi Fallen Order reaffirmed my faith in this ailing franchise. It kept me absorbed in its awesome rendition of the Star Wars world, it moved me in ways I didn't expect, and it featured a fantastic new character in Cal Kestis. It was refreshing to follow a lead character in Star Wars who isn't so torn between light and dark or tempted to play bad. His story concerns his PTSD following events of Order 66, and the tragic loss of his closest Jedi family. Moving past that pain in a time of hopelessness and an age of empire, Cal's story is ultimately an uplifting one, where his faith is restored and his connection to the Force is healed. In short, not a journey the character of Obi-Wan is unfamiliar